Hello, Aquarius. So, this is welcome to your July creative forecast. We are going to dive right in. So, happening on July 13th, we have the new moon. Nope, it is the full moon in Capricorn. So, July 13th, there's a full moon in Capricorn, meditating on the energy and just looking at the themes that come up. I think that it'll be a good time to work with themes of practical determination, helping us rewind, helping us to manifest the big ideas we expanded upon and released during the Sagittarius full moon. Also, just nourishment for the journey. So, how are you filling your cup, and how do your daily rituals support you? And also, how do they ground your energy so that you are able to listen to and hear your intuition, right? Earth signs are very intuitive. It's just a different kind of intuition than a lot of the other signs are known for, right? There's like creative instinct, which is the fire. There's emotional instinct and truth, the gut instinct that comes with the cups and water signs. And there's an intuition to the air signs that's based on intellect and knowing. There's it seems counterintuitive, the logical intuition, but there's a way that the mind works into these intuitive ideas. And I think the Capricorn full moon is going to be a great time to tap into the ways that our energy, when it grounds, there's a way we can hear so much with so much clarity. So it's about surfing that energy, and it's also going to be about expanding on and releasing the details that help passion take flight. So discipline, determination, ambitious dreaming, right? Ambitious dreaming, and also looking at where you've limited your own expansion and releasing these things. And so then we move into the new moon in Leo on July 28th, which is sort of fearlessly shining your light, expressing yourself creatively. This has a lot to do with creative power, being that it's in Leo. Fun, fifth house themes, fun, sex, pleasure, that kind of idea. But it's also how you channel these powers internally and where you put them inside. So how do you govern your domain, right? This Leo confidence energy, this fearlessly shining your light, just cultivating that quiet fire and the traits of that stoke your inner fire, right? Your strength and power. How are you making it easy for yourself to shine your light? Are you, what is it that you're doing internally? What do you believe about the goalposts that you set up that allow you to shine, right? How does that work together for you, Aquarius? So it's also about calling creativity back to yourself a little bit and working with that internally. So doing some fun things just for you. It's also a great time to start creative projects, right? And using internally facing joy to catalyze methodical progress. Then after the 28th, I just have my notes here. After the 28th, we move into the Jupiter retrograde on July 29th. So, kind of a big week energetically speaking, but nothing that's like stay at home and lock your doors. It's not quite like that. This is really just a good time to reflect. It's a good reflective energy. If you don't have a journaling practice, I do. If you do not, it's a great time to start one. You can start one today or tomorrow, but if you're looking to do something like that, next month will be an excellent time just to clear your mind, quiet your mind. I do it in the morning. I journal about dreams that have been particularly helpful. This is also about just testing limitations and assumptions, right? Testing those things that you've decided about how you can expand, giving yourself permission to do those things, right? This is about, lending practical insight into what we need to expand into from the inside out, right? That's it, looking at the themes from the first half of the year and then looking towards the other half, but looking at that first half and saying, did I honor my expansion? Because the honoring you comes from that Jupiter and Aries energy, right? It was a lot about personal power, independence, really being in touch with what's most important to your sense of self, your personal impact, that kind of baptism by fire into your sense of self, cultivating skills and habits that carry us forward. And that particular time, so in the retrograde period, you might have to make some quick decisions, do some quick thinking. Don't shy away from the decision making, because that's not the point of astrological transits. It's not to throw us into a binary of do or don't. It's sort of a call to work with the energy, right? So if you need to make quick decisions, stay true to what will keep the faith for you about yourself. What's going to honor you? What's going to stay true to you? You have to you ask yourself this question: might this decision decision require me to restore my faith in myself later, or does this honor me and that faith in myself now? 444 was just on the time. So it's going to be felt most strongly by the cardinal signs. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They stand, and this is also true of placements that you have, right? So, your sun sign is your overall personality, moon sign. This is like overview, basic, right? Like it's very basic. Your moon sign is more like your innermost desires, your internal world, your emotional world. Venus is relationships, long-term, seventh house stuff, right? So long-term business, long-term relationships, long-term contracts that you have, things that are not here today and gone tomorrow. They are long-standing, years long. And then your rising sign is has more to do with it's also an overview, but your sun is more so the totality of who you are. And your rising sign is not just, who you are in the physical. It's also people's perceptions of you because of the way that you present yourself, or the way that they may perceive these traits in the way that you express them, and where it is in your chart. So keeping in mind to just look out for all of those aspects. Mutable signs, so Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you'll feel this, if you have these in your chart, we'll feel it less so than the cardinal signs, but second most impacted. And again, impacted is such a strong word for what this actually is. But this is more of an expansion of your inner world that will become rich, and that will expand as well. So the interfacing world. So this is also, the fixed sign. So you, Aquarius, will feel this not as much as the others at all. Again, it depends on where other placements are in your chart though, right? So if you have a very loud moon sign that is in a cardinal sign, so Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, you might feel it more. But it just depends on how you surf the energy too, right? This is about alchemy. It's not about fear. So in terms of themes for the month themselves, what came to mind was the concept of rememory, which is from a Toni Morrison book called Beloved. And I love this book so much. Toni Morrison is freaking brilliant. If you haven't read any of her stuff, go do that. Pause this reading, look up Beloved, Sula, like The Bluest Eye, read something of Toni Morrison. Give yourself that gift in July, truly. But this book, so it talks about rememory, which is where our it's sort of memory is a consistent thing that we have. We can access it at most times, right? Most times. And it's things that we willingly recall. But rememory is things that kind of creep up on us just a little bit more. And I thought about this because I was kayaking and I saw these tree roots underwater, thick tree roots that were it was so gorgeous. And, the lake that I was kayaking in, it was from a dam that it was a dam before the area had been flooded. It's 1700s or 1800s, so hundreds of years ago. This area was flooded, and there are trees that are still underwater and perfectly intact. And the root systems seem to be thriving, and it's just the way that the water has washed away the earth that might have covered those tree roots and made them invisible. But under the water, some of the tree roots were as thick as the kayak, and it was just beautiful. You'll see footage of that in the Sunday affirmations. But this is really about, recalling what's been forgotten. And the rememory is often deployed academically or in a scholarly sense in terms of trauma. But I feel like this is like remembering or a rememory of the beauty of that we push down within us, right? So I think about human-made constructs like dams, or thought systems that we buy into, or identities, human-made constructs that repress. But when we stumble upon them, we see not. And I wrote this down. So human-made constructs like dams repress. But when we stumble upon them, we see not the hard edges of human, but the soft lines of the divine in the way that the life expectancy of wonder carries on. And that's the beauty of rememory, right? That's where this kind of this thematic thing for the month is really remembering these parts of ourselves, and not willingly, but that kind of creep up on us in this beautiful Cancerian energy. When we repress our natural beauty, it persists, and it's all about stilling the waters long enough for us to see the rich nourishment it provides the entire ecosystem. So this is about us being contextualized and emplaced as much as it is us abstractly rememory, right? This engaging in rememory. So I set the intention before I did the reading, so I'm just going to start pulling cards for you, Aquarius. Whoa, I'm going to pull cards and throw a few. So... All right, riding the cosmic wave. Heck yes, Aquarius. I like this energy for you. Let me just move this notebook here so that I can access the other one. All right. So, Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius for their creative forecast for July, please and thank you. Falling. So riding the cosmic wave, falling. It's almost like falling, like graceful falling, like falling. I don't know. Like it's just this. I'm getting this beautiful imagery of leaves or feathers falling from the sky and just drifting down slowly. Rings of time. It could be healing different timelines too, right? It could be healing timelines because you're remembering what you might have otherwise forgotten about yourself. And this is like healing fissures in that timeline where it's like healing I'm seeing these like these threads that have like cracks in them. And then it's like they're mending, and it's allowing for a smoother reception of specific timelines and timelines that didn't occur even. And the way that they're all coming together now. Wow, that's big. Aquarius. Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius for their creative forecast for July, please and thank you so much. So we have heal. You came out for your own reading right out of the gate. I feel like you're very powerful right now, Aquarius. You are right in your power, exactly where you need to be. Not in terms of manifesting, but just because it feels good. Like it feels yummy and delicious. Like it's just delightful. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective for Aquarius? Detach. So a little bit of Libran energy here. So air and air. Justice coming out here. Maybe you feel a little detached, but I also feel like this is, a lot of people say that of Aquarians, and it just bugs the crap out of me because I'm an Aquarian and I have so much of it in my chart. Not detached in terms of emotions. I feel like there might be a way that this is like you pulling back on attachments. We'll clarify all of this energy more so to see specifics. But. Okay, so we have sacral chakra, and then this card came out as well. Balance, lots of major arcana, Aquarius. Whoa. Whew, a lot of major arcana here. So we have the star card, we have justice, we have sacral chakra as prominent, and balance. So temperance energy, so Sagittarian energy here. So we have Aquarius, Libra, Sagittarius. And it's connected to the sacral chakra. So it's almost like balancing your relationship to pleasure. Like there's a way that you're releasing perhaps expectations. There might be a period where you're feeling out of balance, and it's because you're embracing this need to remove yourself from attachments, because you know that there's going to be a season, even if it's just a short one, where things feel out of balance, but you need to stay connected. So this is, I'm almost getting that there's like a release, and here's the reason why. Like this is like we're releasing this balance, and it could also just be releasing expansion, which sounds probably bad, but it's not at all. The way I'm seeing this here is that you're releasing attachments it's like expansion for the sake of itself, and it's like you're sinking into something deeper that is much more oriented towards long-term thriving. So we have release, so the death card, Scorpio energy. We also have teach, that's Hierophant and Taurus energy, as well as 9 of Swords, so darkest fears. So I think that this is this is how the light gets in. So death card, we have Taurus and the Hierophant and the darkest fears. I feel like there's something that I'm hearing Chiron. So there could be something about your Chiron wounding that you're transforming here, and then that's helping you. Then that is something that you are able to teach others and shed light on for other people. And it has to do with this like darkest fears that you have, that, and they're just fears, right? They're not real. So I think it's also an aspect of, I do feel like there's some way that this is how the light really starts to get in here. This is how the light gets in. But again, we're just going to take a look at the sheer number of major arcana here, Aquarius, because like this is how much is left in the deck, like almost the whole thing. Okay. And out of what are supposed to be 4 cards, you didn't just get 1 or 2, you got 5, like 5. And one of them is a solar plexus card. Like that's a lot. So I do feel like it's very important for you to ride this cosmic wave. I didn't even read one of these cards to you. Oh my goodness, Aquarius, what's going on here? So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do riding the cosmic wave. Riding the cosmic wave. You can be carried further by the cosmic wave than by your own efforts. Where you are going cannot be attained by effort. The effort, the discipline, prepares us for the leap, but after the leap, we are no longer sustained by our efforts, but by forces greater than us, the forces of love itself. You're stepping towards the edge, preparing to leap, and let the cosmic wave of love carry you forward. You shall be moved through grace into the new world awaiting you. This oracle brings a message. There's a time to work hard and a time to allow the fruits of one's labor to manifest, when one may be carried by forces set in motion by the energy of life itself. You can let go and move further, reach farther with less effort. Now is the time to give yourself permission to stop paddling and instead just ride the wave. Give in, let go, and be moved. Wow. And again, with the major arcana here, that is absolutely on point, thematically speaking. Like, I feel like there's a very clear message here, Aquarius, and it is that things are shifting and changing. You're handling it beautifully. We're going to keep clarifying here, but I feel like there's a lot that's happening here, and staying not detached, but remembering that there are outcomes that you want, but that the story isn't about the outcomes. The story isn't about meeting your expectations. The story is recognizing what is within you. What is within you? The light that is within you. That there's something about that here, and this this light within you. There's something that you're stepping into because there's something that you've stepped away from, and this has already happened. This transformation has already happened. Okay, so I feel like it's like this light within you that's just radiating outwards. You might feel a little bit nervous about what's coming next, but it's not. There's so much support here for you. Yeah, like it's like you might feel like you're falling, but you're not. It's how does Buzz Lightyear describe it? Like falling with style. It's like, something like that. But that's actually, I want to go see that new movie. But I feel like you might feel a bit swept up, but it could just be because of the inertia that you might have been used to before all of this happening. Because I'm almost seeing this there's like a track. Like I used to play with like little toy cars when I was a kid, and we would take these like ramps and put them on the stairs, and we would like shoot these cars across the length of the house. But it was a great time. But what I'm seeing is that you have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like all of these things that are trying to get through this one little thing, and then it's like something just went boom and opened up. So they all came at the same time. So you might feel like there's like a whole bunch that's falling, but it's a release that's happening. And don't let that dictate the terms by which you engage with this energy. Okay. Like I think there's something really important for you to remember here about that. So heal. We have the Ace of Swords, more air energy. I feel like maybe there's an aspect of your truth that is not just going to be healing for you, but that's going to be really helpful for you right now. There could be truths that come to you that are supportive of healing. This could also just be you telling the truth, telling your truth in a way that is healing to you, opening up future paths for you. Like I feel like it's like you feel like there's like a wide open space now. There's this wide open space that's accessible to you, and it comes from this. I think this is like not only truth but a bit of awareness. Like there are new opportunities on your path with which you can engage with your truth. What does that mean? So you being in your power here in a healing capacity, highlighted, this tells me that there are new opportunities coming that are going to help you. They are going to help you because they are going to allow you to articulate a truth, not in a way that's totally unfamiliar, but it might feel a little bit new, and it seems like it's like a horizon that you're reaching or you're looking towards. But I do feel like there's something to be said for the level of success that's here in you navigating that brilliantly. I feel like you're also coming up to this, you're in this very, it's like a grounded realization of what you want and need. But it's like I'm feeling like there's something that you needed that you didn't realize that you wanted. And that's, I think that's part of the story, part of the sword here. There's something that you needed that you didn't realize you wanted. And that might be also where it's like riding this cosmic wave and falling. Like you might be like, whoa, like, oh my goodness. Like yeah, it might feel like a bit of a ride. So we have the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Cups on the Justice card here. So I feel like there is something that is, I feel like there's something that's, I want to say like, it feels like it's being righted, but not righted as it, like it's being written in a way that it's like a wish fulfillment because you did the thing with your heart space. You did the thing. Do the thing, Aquarius. Do the thing. It's like there's a significant amount of healing that can come to your relationships, and you don't need to attach in the same way because this healing truth is anchoring. It's anchoring in your world right now. There's something about that that's anchoring, and it's quite powerful for you. I think it's quite powerful. It could be Libran energy in your chart that's just being lit up right now. Knight of Cups. It's like heart on your sleeve moment. You're really sensitive right now. Gemini showing up. Some Mercury energy. I'm feeling like your heart is like overflowing. Like there's an overflow from your heart that you're wanting to reach out and put into the world. 14, so Temperance. So more Sagittarian energy here and here. This could be Sagittarian energy in general. There's the overflow of the heart space because you're feeling like there's so much that's possible. It's like possibility. Like you're this Two of Wands. I'm seeing this like beautiful understanding of what's possible because your heart is overflowing. And from a place of you filling that cup, you doing the work. And not just of healing though, but I feel like there's truths that you're listening to. Maybe you were feeling really detached. Maybe the energy that you're embracing is sort of this coming back. Because I feel like that's so much clearer. Thank you so much, Spirit. Because I feel like it's like you're coming back to the rest of us. Like you're coming back to us, Aquarius. Like you're rejoining everybody after you were in this almost other realm, taking in this information. And there's like, the dove is like a peace offering, maybe. A peace offering? That's interesting. Sorry for the Scooby-Doo sound there with my squeaking voice, but it's like maybe a peace offering, like from this other realm that you were hanging out in for a while, or this other awareness that you had. And this is part of the truth that you're integrating. And it's like, that's what's allowing you to come from this open-hearted place. It's allowing you to view connections and connecting differently. There's a balance here now where there may not have been before. So I feel like this could have just been healing relationships in the way that you showed up in them and the way that you accepted and offered love in them as well. So I feel like it's like it kind of runs the gamut. But again, this is like a lot of relationship and kind of fifth house energy, right? Leo energy. So Leo new moon, you might be starting to date someone around that time, or people if you're polyamorous. So I feel like this is like, it's like there's opportunities for love here. I feel this is very true, but I also feel like in terms of projects, this is just a new way of delighting and taking pleasure in what you're doing because it's a more balanced energy coming forward. I feel like it's like you had to go off and do some integrative work. You had to go off and, do something else with that. And then it's like you're bringing all of this beautiful, rich energy back to the rest of us, right? 10 of Cups, like this is your vision and you're holding your vision and then saying, look at, like, it's like you're offering this aspect of your vision and it's, having this beautiful impact, this communicative impact on your relationships and your connections, very balanced energy, but something that's deeply passionate and expansive as well. And it's kind of, I almost see it as like, this beautiful, like, I don't know. I just see this. It's like a sprinkler when it goes back, like, when the oscillating ones that go back and forth, they're like this. Oh my gosh, it's not gonna work. They're like this, right? So it's like it's on the return and you can see the rainbow in the sprinkler. And I feel like that's like the holographic representation of whatever you were doing astrally. It's like on the oscillation back, like you're coming back and you can see the rainbow for half a second. So you can see this delight take shape. And I feel like that's where other people see it. And that becomes your offering, and you are outpouring this beautiful aspect of your heart, right? And I don't think that it's something that takes a great deal of effort, because this is more of like an accomplishment, like a wish fulfilled card, right? That's an accomplished energy. So I feel like instead of it feeling like effort, this is just how you're showing up, because you kind of did this work of the justice card, right? The cause and effect. Like, this is stuff that you were just doing anyway, but the effect of it is remarkable. Like, it's all over your energy. So the sacral chakra here and the temperance card, balance. So Spirit, can you clarify this energy for me in terms of releasing energy? So we have strength, 9 of wands, and the king of swords. Very clear about what was frustrating you. You might have felt like, okay, so this is like, I'm reading this as like a little bit of like clarity about sexual tension and clarity about sexual frustration, because of the abundance of Leo and what the 5th house represents. Also, if that's not applicable to you, what this can also represent is a way that you may have felt frustrated and like you're struggling with yourself. Like, these cards here are like, it's like you were fighting yourself, or fighting the aspect of like how you integrated fun, joy, pleasure, light, like how you worked with all of these energies. And I feel a bit like it's like that releasing of balance, because you had to be out of balance a little bit to let the balance come back. And I think it's like this beautiful energy. This is your energy showing up here, this beautiful clarity. It's not prioritizing head over heart, but it's like seeing the logic in whatever this imbalance was, because it's a way of bringing things back into balance. Very counterintuitive. The way I look at it is like starting up this channel, right? I know for the first while it'll be busier in terms of content creation than not. So it's like you're entering a specific season, right? And even when I was organizing Pride events for the community, when I was doing that a couple of years ago anyway. I know that June and July would be like super busy season. I did not sleep a whole lot. Like, I did, but it wasn't the same as like January or February, right? Those were not a busy season, and it would look at the outset deeply imbalanced, but I knew that it would be more of me that was required for those particular months. So I was able to work around it. So counterintuitively, it would be an imbalance, yes, but it was such a rich balance that came from that, because you can plan for it and you can analyze it and see it very clearly and address it. And I think that that's what this is. And I think that's how you're showing up here. So there could be similar energy. This could just be like summer vacations. Like, it seems like it's an imbalance because it's super busy. But for folks watching who are in the Southern Hemisphere, who are in a different season right now, I feel like it could just be that instead of summer vacations, this could just be vacations period, or periods of time where you're, it's like, it just feels like there's imbalances that are not that seem counterintuitive. That seem counterintuitive to exist, but that are exactly where they need to be, and that you're exactly where you need to be, Aquarius. Yeah, it seems like it's a counterintuitive. Like, you might feel a little bit out of balance, but I do feel significantly like this is something that it's almost like training. Like, this is like the practical application of skills towards a specific end, right? So you're training not for battle, but you're training for that imbalance. So I think that's the clarity that you gain, and you still stick to it. Like, you stick to that. Now, in terms of the sexual aspect that I read here, I think this is possibly things that could have thrown you out of balance in terms of like dating and things like that. Like, if you had a ruptured relationship to pleasure, it would be very hard for you to enter into seasons of dating without it showing up as imbalances. So I think that's the imbalance that you need to release, is perhaps your own relationship to pleasure and joy, and enjoying things without feeling like guilty. Like, we say guilty pleasures. What the F does that even mean, right? Guilty pleasures? No way. No. I don't want pleasures that are guilty. Like, if you're indulging in it and you feel guilty, it's worth asking why. And it's worth asking why you see it as an indulgence. avoidance? Why do you feel like you have to hide it, right? Why do you feel like you have to tuck it under the rug? It's not, you don't have to shout from the rooftops, but you can also just own that part of you as opposed to pushing it away. That's where that imbalance comes from. And I think it's important to release that, right? To release that imbalance, if there is one in your sacral chakra right now, because it doesn't serve you. It really doesn't serve you, right? So we have Death, Taurus, and so Scorpio. So we have the Death card, Hierophant, and Nine of Swords. Spirit, can you please clarify this for me here? I think you're going to have to talk about these fears. I'm getting that a lot. Like the throat chakra, the blue here, it just is so loud. Like it's very loud right now. So I feel like you're going to have to communicate about these fears, and it's going to feel not great. You're not going to feel good about it. It might feel like someone is prying open your crown center or your third eye. But it could just be your guides opening up energy centers that make you feel vulnerable before you are able to communicate about whatever these fears are, because I think they're weighing you down a little bit. The light does get in through the fears, but you have to understand too that you have to let the fears go eventually. Eventually the fears have to go because they can't come with you. Yeah, there's this new energy that you're coming into contact with. You're not going to want the fears to be there with the Page of Wands. They do, it's like there's messages coming in. Yeah, there's messages coming in. Intuition on the bottom here. There's messages coming in. Could be from fire sign or water sign. Beyond people that this could be, I feel like these are also energies and pace. Like you might feel very inclined to take the pace of the Page of Wands and just be like rocketing through, like, yeah, do it. Like jump in, all in, right? And it's like making sure that you're checking in with your heart along the way, making sure that you're taking care of yourself along the way. The light gets in through good self-care routines and taking inspired action that is not at all, it's so connected to your intuition, doing these check-ins with yourself to make sure. Because again, with this Jupiter retrograde energy on July 29th, I feel like you're going to need to, I feel like this is like temperance. Oh my gosh, it's not the minor arcana reflection, but boy, does it feel like it right now, right? That imbalance. Like there might be ways that you're feeling imbalanced, and you're going to need to keep your passion a little bit, temper your passion, because otherwise, if you let that run away with you, don't let these energies within you run away. Like don't let one run away. I'm seeing the Chariot and like the two sphinxes in the front, the two front facing animals that are leading it, and it's like the coming together of energies. So it's like making sure that you bring those into balance and channel them well, so that they're not dominating energy centers and throwing others out of balance. Because I think your intuition will be very strong. Significantly actually, because I do feel like there's a way that you might be healing timelines right now. You might be healing timelines, Aquarius. Yeah. You might be doing some timeline healing, I think. And the thing is that you don't have to do a lot of the deciding work. I think you just have to pay attention to, integrate, and listen to what energy shows up. I think that's going to be really important. Yeah, but do take calculated risks. Don't be afraid to take a leap or two of faith, right? This is also, it can be considered your energy because you share the Uranian nature of it. This is Uranian. This is Uranus. So this is your ruler, right? So there's a way that you're going to need to take a leap of faith. But I feel like the really important things you need to remember are the things that you learned while you were away in this like different space, right? This different space. And I think that this tempering your energy here and bringing things back into balance, it's important to remember that you have the skills that you need in order to tackle this, in order to handle this, in order to manage this or deal with it. But again, there's truths that you're going to see about yourself, that you're already seeing about yourself, right? There's truths that you're seeing. You have the option of letting them be healing truths, even if they might like annoy you or whatever at first. even if they annoy you at first. I feel like there's something that is allowing you to give birth to some parts of yourself or to new horizons for yourself because of this energy. So just listen very carefully and listen from this place of non-attachment, right? Detach yourself from that. Detach yourself for a moment, not from people, not from reality, nothing like that. This is about no expectations, releasing the expectations so that what is can start to show up in the present moment for you, not through the filter of expectations or truth or stories that you've told about yourself. So we're going to pull from the Elemental Oracle by Stacey DeMarco here and see where this takes us. Spirit, can you please clarify these messages for Aquarius for their July creative forecast, please? I'm hearing brick and mortar. Brick and mortar. Like there's something, I'm seeing pentacles, like the 8 of Pentacles. There could be a way that you, like, because I was just thinking about whether this is like how this is all showing up and whether this is like how all this energy is going to show up. Is this something that's happening behind the scenes in your energy, or is this something that's going to start to show up? And the brick and mortar nature of it tells me that this is something that's that will start to show up tangibly. Like you won't be able to ignore it. So we also have companionship and animals here. That showed up. No, that wasn't the other one. Okay. Getting out in nature could be really important to you right now. It could be important for you to communicate with animals right now. That could be, I mean, you could have pets. So we also have cleansing and storms. I'm hearing the song Rain on Me by Lady Gaga. It's Pride Month, of course I would. But cleansing storms. I get that that's kind of what happened when you were like off in that other realm doing that healing. Like a part of you was doing this healing work, and that's what sort of set this timeline healing taking place. Yeah. Maybe that's what felt like falling to you, but it's like it baptized you, right? It baptized you. Tears are a baptism from within, friends. I firmly believe that. And we also have motion and air. So very you, Aquarius, again. This is 2-2. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have 21, 22, 23. So interesting. So it's almost like this sequence of events. Could be a sequence of events that gets kicked off here. Like there's some way that you're really in tune with your environment. Communicative in ways that go beyond language and human understanding. I mean, human understanding, really. Like just more than human communication. And I think it sort of kicks off, it sets things in motion. And that's where these like, I'm hearing healing streams of grace. So Cindy Dale's work, CYNDIDALE. So Cindy Dale, her work, she has something called Healing Streams of Grace. And it is a profound meditation that helps me. I still use it. It's excellent. And she also has something called Spirit to Spirit. So those two together, but Healing Streams of Grace really do work wonders. So working with that might be helpful right now. And especially with the water themes in this Cancerian energy. So that may be a tool that will help you, Aquarius, this month. And if nothing else, then just to help navigate and clear your energy as these big shifts come. Because I feel like there are big shifts coming. And again, this is almost like a notion of you can feel it. You can feel it, but you can't see it because it's happening in another, like it's a timeline thing that you can't really sense, but you can feel, right? Can't really sense it, but you can feel it. So Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective, please? For Aquarian to close out this reading, for Aquarius to close out this reading for their July energy. All there is to love has been there all along. I feel like this is maybe a way that you're seeing yourself a little bit. Again, based on these truths and stories, this is like some of that healing, right? This is, I think, a little bit of, and with the Empress, like self-love, the Queen of Cups here as well, like how the light gets in, this self-love and appreciation. You're really entering a place of really and truly loving yourself. You're loving yourself. You're loving on yourself, Aquarius. That's good. And I think you're getting out of your head to do it. I know we live there. That's a fantastic place to be. It's wonderful. It's amusing, hilarious, so many great things. But there's a way that you're coming out and joining the rest of us. And that's quite nice. And I think that you're seeing that all there is to love has been there all along. And that it doesn't require a rationality. It doesn't require a logic. Don't make it make sense, right? Feel it. Feel it all. Give yourself much more credit. So interesting that this is like, there's so many major arcana coming out here, and it's like you really do have to give yourself more credit. Now I'm hearing applause by Lady Gaga. Again, it's Pride Month, so it's fine. Of course. Of course. Yeah, I think that this is like giving yourself more credit, because I feel like there is the changes that are upon you would not be taking place if there was not some groundwork laid that was ready, that you were ready. And I think it's important to remember that you're ready. And I'm just thinking about readiness in terms of this here. Like, you might question whether, I don't know what leap of faith this is. This could just be like taking a chance on dating. This could just be like meeting new people, whatever. It could be taking on new projects, right? Whatever this means to you. Could be assignments at work. It could be, just applying for new jobs, whatever you want to see it as, right? So I think that this energy is really about taking chances, but understanding that like you're in an integrous relationship with yourself, and that's where you have to give yourself more credit. Give yourself more credit for these changes, because the changes that are happening, they're taking place because of things that you set in motion in this lifetime. 4141 was just on the time. So don't be afraid to ride the cosmic wave, and to do so from a place of joy, right? Don't be afraid to feel that joy, and don't deny yourself joy and pleasure right now. Because I feel like that is something that you need to lean into more. You really need to lean into that. So Aquarius, that was your July creative forecast. If this resonated, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you on the channel if you are not already, but if you are and you're joining me from my subscriber list, thank you so much. I really appreciate that you're here. I'm so absolutely grateful. It makes me smile so much. So thank you for that. There are other ways you can connect with me on the channel, so do check that out. But if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, it finds you very, very well. My darling Aquarians, have a wonderful July. Take care.